Did you know that you can give special effects to players when they're holding a specific item, like with a sword? And you flick this on, and you can give them the strength effect. You'll see when I take the sword out, the strength goes away, and then I get strength back when I put it back in my hand. And did you also know that you can give a cool particle effect right in front of a player when they're holding an emerald too? Or any other item? Or, my favorite, did you know that you can check if someone is holding something in their offhand as well? Like this Nautilus shell. I can throw it in my offhand and you'll see it summons a lightning bolt wherever I'm looking. And it's a very simple command. It's a lot simpler to do than what you think. But before I show you how to do that, I first want to walk you through what we're using in this tutorial. And that is the hasitem target selector. Now you might be like, whoa. I thought you said this was easy. It is, and you've probably heard of it. Maybe not the hasitem part of it, but you've definitely heard of a target selector, just not by that name. And if you're wondering, what is this? Well, it's actually this. What you put after this. So usually when you put in this is what you see. Now, if you were just going to look for test for at E, you're just looking for all entities. And that'll find a bunch of entities. That'll find a bunch of things. So you'll see it's me and then the item rotten flesh. But say you want to limit that down. What you're going to do is put a square bracket behind it, and you can put in any of these. Now the ones you've probably heard of is type equals whatever, and you've probably seen this one. This one has all the animals that you're looking for, or entities. You've also probably heard of name equals something, and then you've also probably heard of R, which is radius. You've probably also heard of that one. But the one we're using is the hasitem. And it's a bit trickier than those two, because it has more parts than they do. Now, I'm just going to quickly do this. I'm not going to walk you through this part, because that's what the next part is for. But I am going to show you that it does have more stuff, and that's the gist of it. It's basically just a target selector to check if a player is holding a specific item, and in a specific location. You can also check quantity, but we're not going to do that for this tutorial. And now we should be ready to jump into the tutorial. But before we do that, I do want to ask if you guys could hit 30 likes on this video. If you guys do, I will make a tutorial on how these things work. These target selectors. They can seem difficult, but if you know what they do, they're very simple to deal with. But with all those interruptions out of the way, we can start with the tutorial. And the first thing we gotta do is get ourselves a command block. And the way we're gonna have to do that is type in /give at p command block. All you're gonna have to type in your chat, and then you can hit this or enter, and you'll have yourself a command block. Very simple. The next thing we're gonna have to do is pick what item you want to start with. Now, I will have it chaptered out. So if you want to jump from golden sword, emerald, and then Nautilus shell, you can. They will probably be in that order. I will also leave an item of your choosing at the end. So like how to make it your own with your own item. That's what I'll show at the end of the tutorial. But for each of these three items, I'm just going to show the command. So how it's going to work is for each of these three items, I'm going to show you the command. They'll also be in the description, just as heads up, with the names above them. But after I show you those, I am going to show you how to write your own item in there. So I won't explain how these ones work or type them out. I will just show you the commands. So with that out of the way, we can get started with the gold sword. And this one's pretty easy. It's just the effect command, and it's checking if they have the gold sword in this main hand then you'll get strength to all players that have this item, and it'll be for 1 second at strength 10, and then true is just hiding the particles. It's just a basic effect command with a golden sword. So, very easy to do. And don't worry, these will be left in the description. Now, you can flick it on if you have that all, and you can have your sword. And now that we're done with that, we can jump into the emerald. And you'll see that is the one with these flames. Now, this one is a little bit harder than the sword one, but the reason why is because it uses this execute command. Now, what the execute command is really good at is it's good at executing as a specific player or entity. Now, you don't need to know this thing fully works because it is a very complicated command if you look into it further. But all you need to know is that it allows you to execute it as a player or from where a player is standing. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I won't explain to you that command because it's difficult. So I'll just explain how this one works. What's happening here is it's just executing as a player, so all players that are holding an emerald in their main hand, and it's running it as themselves. It's running the particle command, and it's giving you this specific particle, which is the blue flames particle. But if you want more, I believe I have a list down there. If I don't, you guys can yell at me in the comment section, because I probably will forget, but just type it in the comment section, hey, you forgot this list, then I will put the link to the list down there. But the main thing you're going to need to know is this. Now, you've probably never seen these before, unless in math. Now, what these do is these tell where you're looking at. Because, as you can see, when I had this on, it changed which direction I was looking at. So it only put it wherever I was looking at. And that's because these allow you to do that. These basically replace what the tildes are, and they only work in this execute command. They don't work outside of the execute command. Do not know why, but they just don't. So I do suggest you copy this from the description because it's a pretty long command. And same thing, the repeat unconditional needs redstone. And then if you want to, you can put a delay and fix. And you should be good on that one. And now you should be able to use that particle effect with the emerald. So we can get on to this one, which is the lightning Nautilus shell. Now, how this one works is when you put it in your offhand, it summons lightning wherever you're looking. And it doesn't even matter where I'm looking. It'll summon it there, and then once I remove it, it will stop summoning it. And it's a pretty cool command. I like this one the most, but I can see why you'd like this one or this one. And this one is a little bit easier than how this one was, because there's not as much to type in. Because you're really just using the same execute command you used over there, but you're using the summon command, which is a lot simpler of a command than the particle command. And most of you guys know the summon command. It uses these same caret symbols that we used over there, and basically summon a lightning bolt about 10 blocks in front of where this player is looking, at every place that people are holding a Nautilus shell in their offhand. That's all it's doing. I know that's a long explanation, but basically you just need to know Nautilus shell in offhand means lightning bolt. And I do suggest, if you do that one, to put it at a delay of 50 ticks or whatever delay you want. Do not leave it at 0, because you will lag out your world. Now, I got a PC, but if you're on a phone, you will lag. Like, to the oblivion. So, watch out for that. And now that you have that in your command block, you can flick on your lever and you should have a working Nautilus shell. Oh, I turned it off. And then you can test it out. And it works. So, naturally, now that you have that, we can show you how to make your own. And that is very simple to do, because all you need is the item you're going to be using, a lever if you're doing it the way I did, like these couple, but if you're setting it to always active, you don't need a lever. You're also going to need your command block. And you're just going to place it down, like so. Doesn't matter the direction you face it in. I'm actually just going to place it upward. Then you're going to set it to repeat. Leave this as unconditional, and leave this as needs redstone unless you're not using a lever. I'm going to place my lever. Then you're going to hit this plus, just so you can see the entire command, because this one could get long. And you're going to type in whatever command you're going to type in. So I'm going to use effect, because I'm going to check if a player is holding a feather. So what I'm going to do is add A, so I'm affecting all players, and then we're going to limit all players down to if they have item or have the item, and then place in your curly brace, then place in a curly brace, and then you're going to type in item equals whatever item you're using. I'm using a feather, then comma, then you're going to type in location. There you go. If you're typing it in a normal thing, you're going to think, oh, there's a slot thing. Don't type that one in. Only type in location. Now the reason is because this one actually gets you what you want. It can actually check which slot you're looking for. So for this, I'm looking for slot.weapon.mainhand. If you're looking for like the offhand, you're just going to change it to offhand. Helmet, you can give a person with glass on their head water breathing, like a scuba diver. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to do main hand. Then you're going to put in your curly brace, then a square bracket, then put a space, and you're going to type in the effect you want. So mine is going to be levitation. I think that is what it is. And then it's 2 and 1. Or actually, we're going to put 3. Then I'm going to put a delay, so we'll go 40. And you'll see, if I have it on, I put on a feather, you'll see, float. That was too long, so I'm going to lower it. So instead of 2, it's going to be 1. There. That's too short of a jump, so we're going to set it to 5. Yep, there you go. Now you can give effects to your items without mods. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any tutorials that you want, leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you do want that target selector tutorial, get this video, as I said, up to 30 likes. But with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day. Bye.